I'm Shijitama. The battle we're about to be watching is, well, I'll let you see. A typical Tier 8 match. A lot of mixed in Tier 7s and 6s. I'm in my Tier 7 Sims, a nice dog fighting of a destroyer. This thing has maneuverability in bucket loads. And what it doesn't have in bucket loads is armor. You'll see me in this match have a little fun and has a little death. But we'll get to that in a minute, and let's watch him play. One person to keep a note on is Froze321, and then our other Fuso towards the end of the game. Just makes a wonderful view. But let's get us started. First and foremost, we're on the Islands of Ice map. As you can see, yeah, I don't play under Shijitama. I haven't paid the money yet to change my account name over, but semantics. But we'll see what we got. It's a good split for the most part. Most of the fleet kind of goes towards the south. It hurts us in the upper section towards the end of the battle, but, well, the end of the battle for me, because what I end up facing is a little bit painful, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let me speed it up just a second because, well, it takes a while for us to actually engage. At this point, we are being capped by the enemy. And here's the first ship in the engagement. Watch as that beautiful sim just turns. It's a beauty. Now you can see where I'm focusing. Yeah. Hey kids, I don't use the aim mod. I actually miss from time to time. But it is nice knocking out their engines. It is very nice knocking out engines. Even nicer knocking out guns, but, well, I tend to not get that good. Yeah, he hit me in the back of the turrets, and what's real nice about World of Warships, you can actually lose your guns and lose the ability to fight with them altogether. As you see, this back turret just pummeled to pieces. But, yep, as I take out the destroyer we were fighting. At first, I thought I had a destroyer back here with me, but come to find out, he's actually over there towards the cap, and actually in the cap. Oh wait, no, I was right. I had a destroyer over here on my left. My apologies. We both ended up buying it in a minute, but if I remember correctly, yep, that's actually Froze. Froze T, but he ends up doing a really, really, really amazing game. He holds him, keeps him harassed and everything towards till he finally goes, but we'll not jump the gun yet. And we have a couple of battleships towards the center of the map. One's pushing in towards the cap, one's pushing in on trying to flank around. At the same time, I've got this destroyer coming in, this Fubuki. Just absolutely smacks me hard right there. Now, what I don't know is the Fubuki actually has turned at this point and is running away. Well, I fired torps in the hopes that he's going to come around the backside of this island. What I don't know is he's actually turned away and is skirting all the way back towards that battleship that we saw. So, yeah, kind of a waste of torps, but you do what you can with what you got. Had he come around this island turn, I may have got a torp kill on him. As of this showing of this little video here, I have still yet to finish my sniper mission for the last few days. 4 torps in one battle. Maybe I'm not the best torpedo driver of a destroyer driver when it comes to torpedoes. I don't play Japanese, except for the battleships, and I've got a few of the cruisers. But for the most part, I'm a gun buddy. And this Fuso starts in on me, I think, right about here. Yeah, now you see the Fubuki at the back towards the center of the map. What I don't know at the time, and what I started to see, and I pointed out on the map by clicking, is this nice, wonderful ship here, the Yamagi. And he just absolutely destroys me right about here. No, I was wrong. But it's not far off from that because there's not much I can do. I can either run aground or I can present a broadside to him. And maybe I should have just dove towards him, but I tried to make a break for it, and it does not pay off at all. Because his next salvo just absolutely decimates me. And he just fired. Right, buddy. Wait for the flash. Smile for the camera. Oh, yeah, I'm toast right here. Yeah. He hit me good. Hit me for good, nice 5,000 damage. At which point I swap over and start watching Froze. Froze T, 323. You had an amazing battle here. And I thanked the guy. I will say this. Itachi Poi. Very, very good shooting. I even jested to him a bit in the chat. Now let's watch Froze T. As he continues to battle, he's going after this Lexington over here. What he doesn't know, and what he didn't know at first, was this Cleveland had doubled back. And the Cleveland actually does an extremely well job of what you are about to come to see. I even tried to warn Froze T a little bit. Froze actually keeping an eye on chat some. Our carrier down in the south is launching waves of fighters. Not quite certain, but I think our carrier buys it before the end of the match, but I'm not 100% certain of it. You know, he hadn't quite closed to torpedo range on the Lexington, but had he continued to close, that cruiser would have been able to. He would have been able to hurt him pretty bad. The Benson class is a very nice class of destroyers. I'll be glad when I get off my Mahan and get onto the Benson. And he takes a really heavy pounding right there. Immediately set ablaze and immediately uses damage control parties. It's really nice being able to use that, but I'm almost to a point of actually thinking that every ship needs the regen ability a little bit. Now granted, the regen ability, some people like it, some people hate it. It has its pluses, it has its minuses. If you're not really in combat and you use it, you're not going to get really jack squat for repairs. But if you just took a heavy amount of damage, you can mitigate a lot of that. But beyond that, it's really not all that useful. I wouldn't mind seeing it gone to a upgrade slot that actually requires us to, I don't know, actually use it and take a heavy upgrade slot for it. You know, like turret modifications or maybe something else. I don't know. He launches torps in both directions in the hope of... I'm not sure exactly what he was hoping to hit with that second salvo of torps, but... Nah. At which point I swap over, watch the Fuso for a second. He gets hit pretty good from this Cleveland. And I don't think that's, yeah, that's not the same Cleveland that's over there with Froze T. That's the one down here in the south. Although I'm pretty certain that Cleveland dies in just a minute, but yeah. I swap between ships for a minute before going back to Froze T to watch his bout with this nice, wonderful carrier in Cleveland. Yeah, my dead body. And he's harassing. He's with it. He's actually almost with. Yeah, I'm not quite certain. I think he might actually be within torpedo range. But the thing about it is you're firing torpedoes at a ship that is running. It's just like leading a target with guns. You're not gonna have a good chance of hitting the ship unless you're able to lead well in advance of that target. But it does drive them. Good movie put it one way. From the hounds to the hunters. He's driving this carrier and this cruiser into the open arms of the battleships on this other side. Which is not a bad tactic at all. He's just shepherding them to their doom. And by no means are they bad players. That Cleveland, I will actually admit this, and I do admit it in the chat to the game. Jabba 123, you are an excellent escort player. You did your job beautifully. You kept this Benson at bay, off of you, and away from your carrier as much as you possibly could. Short of just running him down, could you have possibly got the destroyer and saved the carrier from possibly having to run to the cap? Yes and no. Could you possibly got him torped and destroyed? Yeah. But looking back at it, nobody's paired up, nobody's teamed up. So two match-maked ships through the matchmaking system actually paired up pretty well. So you can't complain, you can't beat that. Now the Amagi's been sweeping around on the north side. He's actually dealing with one of our last ships on that north side, and I do believe that is one of our Fusos. Yes, because the other Fuso is actually just north of the cap circle. And I believe the Fuso ends the battleship, or not the battleship, my apologies, ends the Lexington as well as the Cleveland. But not before Froze T gets hit by the Cleveland. Froze T comes out of his smoke cloud in a minute, and when he does, here's that Cleveland. And what does he do? He does what he's been doing the whole time, letting Froze T know that he's there to hit him. Letting him know, you're not getting my carrier. But we'll see what happens. I want to say it's right about here. Although it may be a few more seconds up before he gets hit. And it's just a luck shot. Jabba's dueling with that other ship at the moment. I believe it's up here by the island. He finally gets in range and Jabba switches back over. And when Jabba switches back over, he just lays into Froze T. Oh, that's right. We kind of questioned why our carrier went to the cap, but not quite certain of that one myself. But he did. And he bought it for that one. I don't know if he was out of aircraft or what, but he gets decimated in just a second. I mean, this cruiser's just nailing him down, whittling him one after another after another. And it's not long before he's gone. And you can see it right there. There he goes. The Grim Haze, I'm not exactly certain what you were doing, my friend, but that had to hurt. That had to hurt considerably. Now we're down to the 3 minutes 40-second mark. And I believe it's right about here. Benson driving the wonderful Froze T 323. I think he meets his end right about here. Because I don't think he had managed to get into the cap circle. Although the battleship just beat on a Texan. Just watch that health bar just disappear. I was wrong. He did make it into the cap circle. So it actually stopped the capping done by Texan and Yatuchi, Jabba 123. And Froze T buys it there. A full broadside. Very nice match. He harassed them all the way around and all the way back into the cap. TAC Medic's up here on the north side. He's going to be dealing with... TAC Medic's going to be the one to take out Jabba 123, I do believe. And which will leave Predegund. If I'm saying your name wrong, I'm sorry. I do believe he is the one, and he is the one that takes out the last remaining battleship, the Amagi Utachi Poi. We're almost down to right at the 1 minute mark. And Jabba is destroyed by TAC Medic. Jabba's taken out. That leaves just Utachi Poi. Predegund and TAC Medic are the last remaining ships, all hitting on this Utachi Poi. I don't think TAC Medic was able to get a shot off due to the islands in his way. But this is where it comes nice. 472 hit points. And we're down to the wire. 17 seconds left in the match. 10, 9, 8, 7. Watch this. Beautiful last seconds of the game.